Hello yogis and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shaunneka and today we are going to do a very brief bedtime bedside yoga routine that you can do before you get your night's rest. You will need probably one block and that's it. So let's go ahead and start in a seated position, and of course if sitting cross-legged is uncomfortable for you, you can take your block, place it underneath your sits bones so that you're sitting just at the edge of the block. This way you can prop yourself up and help tilt your pelvic bones towards the floor. So let's go ahead and we're just going to warm up the neck. Just making some nice slow rotations with the neck in one direction and the other direction. Let's go ahead and bring our head back to a neutral position, rolling out through the shoulders. And let's go ahead and reverse that. So from here, you're going to take your feet and you're going to bring your ankles closer to the top of your mat. And once they're there, you want to open your feet to the width of your mat. So you should feel like you're in an awkward sitting position. So you might notice that it's harder to fold forward, but you'll feel more of a stretch in your outer hips. So let's go ahead and take a nice big inhale, reach your arms up overhead, and exhale, fold forward any amount. So again, you might notice you're not able to come down as far, but you should be feeling a nice stretch in the outer hips. Let's go ahead here and walk all 10 fingertips to the right. Really thinking about reaching with your right fingertips. And walking your fingertips to the other side. Walk your fingers back to the center, walk yourself back up, and we'll switch the crossings of the ankles. So go ahead and bring the opposite ankle in front, walk your feet closer to the top of the mat, and then out to the side. So again, you're finding that awkward sitting position. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, fold forward. And right away, you might notice that you're able to fold maybe a little bit further on this side, or maybe this side is tighter, which again is completely normal. Let's go ahead and walk all 10 fingertips to one side. And to the other side. Let's come back through center and walk ourselves back up. So go ahead and just find a cross-legged position that's most comfortable for you if you were to just naturally sit on the floor. You're going to take your hands and cup them around your kneecaps. We'll take a few cat-cow in a seated position. So when we're in here, you are in this position, you want to think about leading with the chest and not the neck. So on an inhale, pull back on your hands. Inhale, reach your chest forward. And exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale. And exhale. Remembering to always lead with the chest. Pull back on your knees with your hands. Inhale. Open up. And exhale, round through the spine. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back to a neutral spine again, go ahead and spider your left fingertips beside you and inhale that right arm up. Inhale here. Exhale. You're going to bring your torso around towards the left hand. Come down along the front, along the side. Right fingertips or right hand plants and left arm comes up. Inhale. Exhale, sweep. Let the head go, let the head be heavy. Inhale. And exhale. Moving with your breath. Make it intuitive. One more each side. Inhale, both arms up. And exhale, bring your hands back down onto your knees. So from here, we're going to roll forward and find ourselves in a tabletop position. From your tabletop position, you're going to go ahead and extend your right leg behind you. Just taking a nice stretch. Stretch out through the calf. And the other leg. And from here, we'll be making our way into a child's pose. So it's up to you. You can bring your big toes to touch and bring your knees nice and wide, sending your hips all the way back into the saddle you've created with your heels, walking your palms out and bringing your chin and your chest, or maybe your cheek, to the mat. Or maybe you would much rather a closed-legged child's pose if you're experiencing any low back discomfort. This is probably the pose of choice. So your knees are together, your toes are together. Sit back onto your heels, and again, drape the belly on top of the thighs. Maybe you stack fist on fist, palm on palm, or bring your hands beside you. Nice deep breaths. And when you're in poses like these, you really want to think about expanding through the back body, sending the breath into the back of the rib cage. About 5 more deep breaths here. So if you have your arms behind you, bring them beside you and push yourself up. If you're in that wide-legged child's pose, lift your gaze, walk your hands back in, and sit yourself back up. From here, we'll make our way back onto our bums. Go ahead. This time, you're going to bring your right foot and draw it in towards the groin, and bring your left leg out to the side. So we're going to stretch a little bit into the low back here. Inhale, find nice length, reach up. And exhale, you're going to turn your torso over towards your left big toe, and exhale, fold forward. So you can bring your hands down any amount, or you can come to the inside, or what I like to do, take my right hand, grab the outside of my left foot, and fold to the outside of my left leg. I feel a nice stretch here through my low back. Five more breaths. Gently release and walk yourself all the way back up. Find that neutral spine again, and we'll switch to the other side. So draw your left foot in this time. Right leg extends out to the side. Bring your left heel in towards the groin. And inhale your arms up. Nice and tall. Turn your torso over towards your right big toe and fold forward. Taking any variation you like, or the same variation you took on the other side. Five more breaths. Go ahead and lift your gaze and walk yourself back up. Go ahead and bend at the knees. You're going to bring your feet out about hips width distance with your feet flexed. Take your hands, wrap them around your knees. On an inhale, you're going to shoot your chest forward. Inhale. And on an exhale, lean back slightly, round through the spine, chin to chest. Two more. Inhale. You can drop the feet if that's more comfortable. Open the knees. Reach the chest up. Inhale. And exhale, round. Last one like this. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back up. Bring the soles of your feet to touch this time. And normally you see in a lot of yoga classes where you're drawing the heels in towards the groin. I mean, it's nice if you want to open up through the inner groin, but the further your heels are away from your hips, the more it's going to work your outer hips. And that's a place that we seem to neglect. Everyone really wants to work on the inner thighs, but it's always nice to balance that by counteracting and stretching the outer thighs. So let's go ahead and inhale. And exhale, fold forward any amount. If you have your block handy, you can place the block onto your feet and let the forehead rest. 5 more breaths. Lift the gaze, walk your fingertips back up, and let's go ahead from here and make our way onto our backs. Let's go ahead and roll all the way down. Maybe you windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Coming into our last 2 poses. So we'll be making our way into a happy baby, and from our happy baby, we'll be making our way into a twist. So go ahead and grab either the inner or outer edges of your feet. So when you're in happy baby, you want to think about pulling your feet down with your hands. Push your tailbone and the back of your skull into the mat. You can always rock from side to side if that feels more comfortable. Got 5 more breaths. Very gently lighten the grip, bend the knees, draw the knees closed, and rock from side to side. So ending this evening's practice with a twist. So bringing your feet back down to the floor. You want to cactus your right arm and cactus your left arm. From here, you're going to push into your feet, pick up your hips, shift your hips to the left, set your hips down. Draw your knees in and drop them to the right, gaze to the left. You can leave your right arm in cactus or take your right hand and place it gently on the left knee. Five more breaths. Bring your gaze back towards the ceiling. Use a little bit of core strength and draw those knees back in and up. Set your feet back down, keeping your hands in the goalpost arms or cactus arms. Push into your feet, pick up your hips, shift your hips to the right this time, set your hips down, draw your knees in, and drop your knees over to the left. And you can gaze over your right arm. You can take your left hand, leave it where it is, or place it gently on the right knee. 5 more breaths. Go ahead and bring your gaze back towards the ceiling, using a little bit of that core strength. Draw your knees back in and up. Set your feet down. Readjust the hips. And just windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Last piece of work here. Go ahead and bend your knees. You can wrap your arms around your knees. Grab a hold of your fingers and stay here if this is enough for you. Or you can lift up into a nice tight ball. You can grab onto your heels. You're going to squeeze your thighs into your belly, looking in between your big toes for 3, 2. Let's all take a nice big inhale here. And exhale, release. Extend your legs out wide, arms out wide for your Shavasana. Or your bed, if you're there. So feel free to stay here for as long as you'd like. Or beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes, rotating the ankles and the wrists. Reaching the arms up overhead, nice long body stretch. Reach, 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 reach. And exhale, release. Bend your knees, rolling over onto your side. And pushing yourself all the way up to a seat. Woo. So finding a nice tall spine. Taking a few deep breaths. Nice and big. Let's take one more nice big inhale. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Yogis, I really hope that you've enjoyed this practice. A nice way to wind down before you go to bed, or something that you can do in bed, or like I said, beside your bed and just crawl on in. I've created an online community group on Facebook, Yoga with Shaunneka. You can check it out. Drop all your suggestions on videos and things that you'd like to see on this channel. I release videos every Wednesday and Sunday, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.